Hey guys, John Jr. here, and I forgot to say this the entire video, but we're the Eterna City Audino in this league, and I decided to make a new logo. I love Mega Audino, obviously. It's absolutely one of my favorite Pokemon, so I wanted to make a new logo on it. So I went ahead and did that, and we're rocking out with that in this season. So without further ado, here's past me, I guess, in the draft analysis. Hey guys, John Jr. here, bringing you guys another video, this time for the IBA Season 5. This is a league ran by my good buddy Odds Are. Please check him and all of the other coaches out down below. We've got a great cast of coaches, and I'm very much looking forward to this season. This is not upload required, but we do have the GFX made. We have everything ready to go, and hopefully we're in for a good season with a lot of upload. That being said, you look at the GFX, you look at the slides, it's probably a blank slide right now, I would assume, and the thumbnails and all that stuff. I made all of the stuff, and like Odds put some extra effects on everything, and it's so cool to have two people that are good at GFX help run the league. Obviously, I don't want to say that I co-run the league, because that's not true. This is Odds' league. I'm just there helping him with a lot of stuff. So that being said, in this league I was going in with a couple of things. There were three things that I really wanted, but they were all megas. So I wanted to build my team around either Mega Mawile if we got a top pick, Mega Altaria if we did not get a top pick, because you guys know NCP Nimbus, it's a cloud, things like that. Really wanted to try it out. Now I want to do Mega Pidgeot, and I want to get Mega Pidgeot in Oras League because I've been loving it so much in PMU, so I wanted to get it in another league and have some fun with it. But we ended up getting 15th pick, so I thought, okay, Mega Mawile is not really likely, so I'll probably get Mega Altaria and something else. I really didn't know what else. So with the first pick, we did end up actually getting Mega Mawile. It came around and it got to me. Everybody was talking about how overrated it is, and I preach about how overrated Mega Mawile is. But that being said, I still know that it's a really good Pokemon, and in the right hands, it absolutely smacks. Miss Dusa here is going to be the main Pokemon on the team, the mon that we build around. The entire core, the entire idea of the team is to get Mega Mawile in every week and to hopefully get a lot of kills, because I do know how crazy powerful this mon is. There's almost no switch-ins in the game that can take 2 play roughs or 2 insert whatever move here, because it has huge power. It has Intimidate before Mega Evolving. Its move pool is actually kind of diverse. Fire Fang, Thunder Punch. It gets things like Brick Break, obviously Iron Head, Knockoff, and the dreaded Sucker Punch. I don't know if I have ever won a Sucker Punch 50-50, so that's why I always kind of try to stay away from Mawile. I'm not good with Sucker Punch 50-50s at all, but I'm making myself uncomfortable. That's the whole plan with this draft. I'm making myself very uncomfortable and trying to use a lot of different things, because actually, if you guys have been keeping up with NCP, I don't know what day this is going up. Probably before my week 11 or week 10 match against Ogle for NCP, so I do want to go ahead and say spoilers if you have not seen that yet, or if that's not been out yet. But against the Golden State War Turtles in NCP, Ogle, really great guy, check him out. We did unfortunately lose to Hacks, and that sucks, so we are 4-6 now. I think a part of that has been, as the season has went on, I've really come to find out that I really dislike the NCP team. Like, I like the individual Pokemon, the team together does not work. I'm forced to bring Mega Gallade or Volcarona as a win con every week. I'm forced to bring them offensively. I can bring an offensive Goodra every now and then, and maybe an offensive Sylveon, but most of the time I have 9 defensive Pokemon. No, most of the time I have 7 defensive Pokemon, a Sneasel and a Tauros, and I've not brought Tauros once yet, and Sneasel is always an offensive mon, and then I have Mega Gallade and Volcarona forced to be offensive Pokemon, and I hate that so much. So I don't think I did a really good job of building that team. I think if I would have got Hydreigon over Goodra, it would have been a little bit better, a little bit less offensive load, but that's a tangent. That's a tangent completely off topic here. So that being said, I wanted to put myself out of my comfort zone. I keep using mons that I'm really comfortable with, like in NCP. I was comfortable with all of those Pokemon. Mega Gallade, probably my most used Mega, I would say. We got Volcarona. I've used Volcarona, one of the first Pokemon I ever used. And Swampert, I used Swampert so stinking much. Decidueye, I used Decidueye so much. So I wanted to go for a completely different route here. I wanted to make myself uncomfortable. So we got Mega Mawile. Miss Dusa here, I predict this to be our kill leader by a lot. I think this mon will absolutely smack. Like I said before, we had 14th pick. I was wrong about 15th pick, by the way. Owen picked after us. But we did have 14th pick, and I had no idea what I wanted here. I was kind of just seeing what would fall. I was really thinking about getting Reuniclus here. I really wanted to get Reuniclus so badly, dude. Reuniclus plus Mega Mawile is such a good combo, and I wanted to try it. I wanted to try it insanely bad, and then round 3 I was going to try to get Hydreigon, and then we were going to go from there. I did not plan ahead of time like I should have. But that being said, when it came around to me in round 2, we had one of my favorite Pokemon that I think is a top 10 mon in the format still there. We had Victini. Vmon the Victini is still there, and this is looking a lot like A-Drive's team. I know, I didn't realize A-Drive ever had this core until somebody pointed it out to me in my front office. Shout out to you, hacker. But this core is really, really nice. Victini actually gets Trick Room, for those of you that do not know, and you may be thinking, well, that's stupid, Victini has 100 base speed, you'll never run that. Yes, I will. With Mega Mawile plus Trick Room, that's completely scary. Mega Mawile's biggest downfall is how slow it is and how it has to rely on a Sucker Punch to outspeed things, outspeed things a lot. So being able to have Trick Room set is really, really scary, and Victini in Trick Room alone is super, super scary because of V-Create, how it lowers your speed in Trick Room that makes you faster and faster and faster until you're faster than everything and you blow everything back with a V-Create. Victini alone on its own, not talking about it plus Mega Mawile, is such a good Pokemon. It is so cool. It has access to so many different moves, physical or special. Blue Flare has V-Create, obviously two of the strongest moves in the game. Bolt Strike, and then it has Thunderbolt. It has Energy Ball, it has Dazzling Gleam, Focus Blast, Brick Break. Focus Blast 77% accurate, by the way. It has Work Up, it has U-Turn, Trick, so many different moves. Thunder Wave even. Like, Victini can do it all, and that's why I love Victini so much. I can literally build it to beat the things that I think will check Victini, or will be built to check Victini. So, that being said, Victini is absolutely one of my favorite Pokemon. I could not pass up a Victini right here. And I think Victini Mega Mawile, I think outside of the first two rounds, like, once the first two rounds were over, we had the best core easily. We had the best two Pokemon easily. I don't think there was anything that beat us. There was a Coco Lucha that Jason has, Diet Tight, and I think that maybe you could say that's better, but I think Victini plus Mega Mawile is absolutely ridiculous. So next up here, I told you guys I was going to be getting Hydreigon, and before I get comments about it, yes, that is how you pronounce it. Look it up. I think there's a True Green 7 video on it somewhere, but I pronounced it like that ever since. But anyway, one of my favorite Dragon types, one of my favorite Pokemon. It's such a nice Pokemon. It adds a Dark type, and it doesn't help with the speed tiers because it's base 98. You'll come to find out that I hate getting exact same speed tiers, so if it's a little bit of a difference, I don't care too much. But Hydreigon can absolutely do it all. It has Roost, it has Defog, it can break those Psychic types that our other two mons have a lot of trouble dealing with. It has just such a diverse move pool. Fire Blast, you know, U-Turn, obviously Draco, drop a Draco, Flash Cannon, Z Belch, this is one of our Z mons, has access to Roost, Defog, and I like this mon a lot. The reason that I really like Hydreigon as our dragon is because it was between this mon and Salamence, and I noticed that Salamence was on the A-Drive core, so I didn't want to copy him, and Hydreigon was still there round 3. I think it's absolutely one of the best tier 2 Pokemon. I think there's no doubt about it, so I wanted to get this Pokemon because it levitates, and that's the whole thing with it. That's the huge thing. It levitates, and both Mawile and Victini, one of their main weaknesses is ground, and I didn't want to be Edgequake weak, so I thought Hydreigon fit in very, very nicely. It also adds more momentum to get us into Mega Mawile, which is something that you'll come to find out is stays true throughout the draft. Next up here, in round 4, I decided, you know, it came back to us on the wheel. This was another one of our wheel picks. Gliscor was still there, and for those of you who have talked to me in like personal service and things like that, you'll know I despise Gliscor. I'm getting out of my comfort zone. Like I said, I'm getting out of my comfort zone. I'm using Gliscor again. It's one of my least favorite Pokemon to use competitively. I love its design. I hate its use competitively, but I tried it a year ago, so I want to give it another try in a Wi-Fi setting. Gliscor pairs very, very nicely with the Mawile and Victini. It's a Stealth Rock user, which we did not have yet. Another Defog user to pair on with Hydreigon. It actually has setup potential with Swords Dance and Agility, and Earthquake is such a good move in this game. It's 4 times weak to Ice, but we have Mawile to eat those Ice hits, which we don't really care about. You know, obviously immune to Earthquake, which is really, really nice to help Victini and Mawile out. It's a Defogger that's not weak to Rocks, which is really, really helpful, especially for Victini, and it's a nice physical wall, and that's what Gliscor is going to do. If you look at NCP, like how I was talking earlier, I really forced Goodra and Sylveon and things like that to be in a defensive role more times than not, and I hate that I did that. So if you look at this team now, I really think that I did a really good job of making it to where Gliscor is it's a Pokemon that has to be able to be ran offensively and defensively. It's not a Pokemon that likes to be forced into a defensive role. Obviously, there are more games where it is going to be defensive, but it's a Pokemon that can run wild on offense, and I really didn't used to see that when I used Gliscor before, and I really think that's where I fell short using Gliscor. The way I built this team, I really think that I can build Gliscor both offensively and defensively, and I'm very, very excited to use Gliscor. His name is Mikaru, actually, by the way. I forgot to say that. Hydreigon is triple threat because it's got 3 heads. Gliscor here is going to be named Mikaru because that's how you say my friend Michael's name in Japanese, and this is his favorite Pokemon, and I've known him forever. Next up here, we're getting a Pokemon that I'm not too happy about. We had it in NCP, and it's a tier 2 in this league because I helped with the tiers, and I don't think it's a tier 1. We got Skarmory. I do not think it's a tier 1 Pokemon, but it was still there round 5. I needed another bulky steel, or another steel type in general, because Mawile is not a very good defensive steel, so I like to have either 2 steals or 1 really good defensive steel, and it was between Skarmory, Cobalion, and Doublade. Now I planned on getting Jellison later in the draft, so I really did not want to get Doublade, so I decided that it's between Skarmory and Cobalion. I bounced between this back and forth in my front office for like 2.5 hours, and eventually we decided to get Skarmory because I felt like there's another Pokemon, the next Pokemon that I could get really paired nicely with the team that we currently had. Skarmory is a very good defensive mon. It has access to, reliable recovery. It has access to taunt, defog, and rocks and spikes. It takes pressure off of Gliscor as not only a rocker and a defogger, and I think that's why Gliscor is going to have the ability to really kind of run wild here and be offensive and defensive, and I'm really looking forward to that. But the reason I didn't want to grab Skarmory was because of the fact that I'm really burnt out on using this mon. This is not one of my favorite mons to use, but I think it can definitely get the job done. Skarmory also fits very, very nicely with the rest of our team because obviously it's immune to ground, so right now we have 2 ground weaknesses and 3 ground immunities, so I'm really patching those up nicely. It does share a weakness of fire to Mawile, which you kind of can't avoid if you get a second steel type, unless you get very particular ones. But I think that we can patch that up later. Rustwing is on the squad. This is Rustwing. The next Pokemon that we have here is one of my absolute favorites to use. It is one of the first Pokemon that I ever used, and it is the first Pokemon that I ever almost won MVP with. We're rocking out with Lycanroc Dusk here. This mon has a lot of history with me. We're naming it Sally because Sally is my dog. Sally is the dog that I have here at my house. I love that dog. So we name this dog Sally. Sally, for some reason, I don't know why, I'm very, very good with Lycanroc Dusk. My Lycanroc Dusk overall KD is like 27-7 or something absolutely crazy. And I love this Pokemon so much. I think there's so many different ways you can run it. It is our other Zmon. It's such a good Zmon. People are going to underprep for it. I think that's where we can capitalize. People are going to see Mawile, they're going to see Victini, they're going to see Hydreigon, and they're not going to see Lycanroc. And I think Lycanroc's going to be able to take full advantage of that. As long as we hit like our stone edges, things like that, I think we'll be in a good position. But Lycanroc actually has a very, very good move pool. People very often sleep on Lycanroc's move pool. It gets Fire Fang, Thunder Fang, Outrage, Crunch, Iron Head, Zen Headbutt, obviously a Celerock, Stone Edge, Drill Run. It's such a good Pokemon. It's got a lot of coverage for a lot of Pokemon. There's very few Pokemon that can outright wall it. I think bulky wallers are probably the most prominent that wall it, more than likely. Ground types also do a really good job at walling it, but I think that we can patch that up with our other Pokemon. I think that we do a good job at that. The main reason that I did decide to get Lycanroc was because of the speed tier. It adds a 110 speed tier, and right now we're rocking out with some really nice speed tiers. I think we've got Lycanroc at 110, Hydreigon 98, Victini 100, Gliscor 95, Skarmory 70, and Mawile 50. So we got some really good speed tiers, and I am very much looking forward to using Sally this season. Next up, I told you guys I did one Jellison, so we did end up getting Sohan the Jellison, my good buddy OP Jellison here. Jellison's the perfect water type for this team, and it's a Pokemon that I've actually only used one time, so again, getting out of my comfort zone. You can see I have some very comfort picks, and then I have some Pokemon that are completely out there, and Jellison is one of those mons that is completely out there, and I'm not very comfortable with it at all. But the whole thing with Jellison is it's the perfect water because it gets Trick Room. So now we got 2 mons with Trick Room to help complement Mawile. It has access to Will-O-Wisp, has access to recovery. Obviously, it's got a pretty decent move pool. Ghost Stab, Water Stab. It's got Ice Beam. I don't know if it's Thunderbolt actually, or Energy Ball. I think it gets those 2 moves, but I could be wrong. It's just, overall, it's a really good wall, really good mon that can be both, a Trick Room setter, it can be just a pivot, it can be whatever we need it to be. It can just be a really, really nice mon. And it's weak to Dark, weak to Knockoff, but we do have Mawile, which is, in my opinion, one of the absolute best Knockoff switches in the game. And I hope Sohan here will put in the finest for us, and I have a good feeling that he will. Next up here, I had absolutely no idea what I wanted to get. I knew I wanted a grass type to help with the ground weakness on Mawile and Victini. I'm very, very scared of Edgequake. I'm extremely scared of Edgequake. So I didn't want Chestnut at one point. I want to try it out. I want to try out my boy Joe, but unfortunately got sniped from us, so I did end up going with a Breloom here. Breloom is a tier 3 in this league, and that is, some people think it's a steal, but I've actually never seen Breloom drafted in tier 2, I don't believe. No, I don't think I've ever seen Breloom drafted in tier 2. So it is what it is. I've never tried the Pokemon, so I'm kind of excited to try it out. I know that it hits super hard. It's like base 130, 40 attack. It's something stupid that doesn't make any sense just looking at the Pokemon. It's a mushroom, but it has access to Spore, it has Toxic Heal, obviously, Mach Punch, and it's a really cool Pokemon on this team because we are not very weak to Flying. so having the ability to switch in between Mawile and two Skarmory, things like that, and be able to take the flying hits is very, very nice. And Breloom can pivot on, you know, both Edgequake moves, which is obviously Stone Edge Earthquake, which is very, very nice. I think Breloom adds a good dynamic to our team, as another mon that can potentially do good in Trick Room because it's only base 70, I want to say, speed. It gives us priority. Fruit of the Loom does not fit, so we will be Fruit ODA Loom, because that is Joel's nickname, and he threw it our way, and I really like it, so we're going to be rocking out with it. Next up here, we did have 3 picks left, and there were a couple of things in mind that I did have. For my tier 3 pick, I would have really liked a fast mon. I really wanted another fast Pokemon of some sort. I wanted an electric type out of my next 3 picks. I didn't care which one. I wanted an electric type in whatever tier. Maybe even like tier 5 Zevi was something I was looking at, or a tier 4 Electivire. Like, there were a couple of really good options. I knew I kind of wanted Audino. Audino gets Trick Room, and shocker, I really love Audino. I love that Pokemon to death, so I figured we need some wish passing. Why not bring Audino on the squad? And I knew that I wanted maybe a second water type. A second water type kind of looked good, but going back and forth, I decided that I kind of wanted Shedinja as tier 5, because if you guys remember, if you guys have been around for a while, I banned Shedinja in a league when I first started leagues, because I didn't know rocks existed. I didn't know like weather existed, things like that, so I didn't think it could die. I thought it was OP, so I banned it. It was a simple mistake. Obviously, I was like 14, I think it was 3 years ago, maybe 13, maybe 4 years ago, I'm not sure. Either way, I was going to get that, but it unfortunately did get sniped from us. But anyway, going with the whole speed and electric thing with tier 3, I did want Heliolisk, but it did get sniped from us, unfortunately, by our good buddy Jesse. However, he said he would trade it to us if we picked Lucario when it got back to us. I obviously did not want Lucario, but I believed him, obviously, because it's my good friend Jesse. So I snatched that mon up, and we traded instantly, and we have Aki the Heliolisk. Aki is one of my good friends, and this is her favorite Pokemon, so we are rocking out with that nickname. I love Heliolisk, a really cool Pokemon, adds both momentum to the squad. It adds a good electric type to help us break waters, which was something that we really struggled with outside of Breloom. And just having another mon above base 105 is going to help us out a lot, I think, because the only mon before is Lycanroc Dusk, and if they have a Pokemon that doesn't care about Lycanroc Dusk or just dies to its priority anyway, they're not going to speed creep Lycanroc Dusk if they're smart about speed creeping. So I want another Pokemon in the same realm of a speed tier to kind of help with that, so we did end up getting Heliolisk. It's another ground weakness, but I think we patched that up really nicely, and I'm actually very, very excited to use Heliolisk this season. Next up, you know him, you love him, we got Nurse Boy, we got Audino, the greatest Pokemon to ever exist. You already know Audino's got the greatest move pool to ever exist. We've got, you know, Snatch, we've got just Calm Mind, we've got so many setup moves, it's ridiculous. This Pokemon can do absolutely anything. Obviously, its main function, you know, Wish, Regenerator, Heal Bell, things like that. It doesn't even need Protect because it's such a good Pokemon. It has Regenerator, like its Mega really should have, but it's such a good Pokemon. But you don't run it like that every week. We've got things like Knockoff, we've got Drain Punch, we've got everything you could want. We've got Curse, I think, maybe. We've got so many cool moves. We've got Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, Hyper Voice, Dazzling Gleam. There's so many moves Audino gets. I cannot stress enough how good of a Pokemon Audino is. And you bet everything I made put this in tier 4 so nobody else would take it except me, because this is a good Pokemon, and it gets Trick Room. That's the whole reason. That's the main reason we got it. Actually, it has Trick Room, but it also has Thunder Wave. Audino's the best Pokemon of all time. Moving on, the last Pokemon here, like I said, I didn't want Shedinja, but how do you get sniped of Shedinja? That was so crazy. I was gonna name it Exodia because I forebode that Pokemon, and it was gonna be fun. But anyway, I got Garbodor. I don't know how Garbodor lasted to almost the last pick in the draft. It is one of the best tier 5 Pokemon. It adds Toxic Spikes, a Grounded Poison, and regular Spikes to the squad, which, you know, Skarmory has Spikes, so more so Toxic Spikes. It just has, in general, another really bulky, fat Pokemon. And I was gonna pick like Regice or something, but Garbodor was still there. I've never used this Pokemon, so I really wanted to. I absolutely wanted to try this Pokemon. That being said, you can see the squad on screen. I don't think I went over all the nicknames actually. Garbodor's nickname is gonna be Hefty, by the way, because you know the Hefty trash bags. I think it's pretty cool. There was another nickname that I had that I might change it to that, but I can't remember what it is. But anyway, all that being said, you can see our squad on screen, and I know everybody says this every draft they do, but I think. Honestly, with how many drafts I've done recently, I've done a lot of drafts. I think that this squad is the one that I have been the most excited for since NWPL Season 2. If you guys remember that squad, that was Garchomp, Mega Venusaur, Zapdos. It was a really fun squad, and it's my favorite squad that I've ever had. So I think that this squad is going to be my second favorite team that I have ever drafted. If you guys are excited for this season, we're going to have a lot of fun with this season. We do face my good buddy Ollie and his Basil Bastiodons, I think is how you pronounce it, week 1. That's going to be coming to you May 19th, I do believe, or the week of May 19th. So we'll probably upload it like that Friday or something. I'll probably upload it that Friday. If Ollie wants to upload it too, we might schedule a time. I don't know. I think May 19th is going to be the first week. So if you guys did enjoy this, please let me know down below. Let me know what you guys think of the squad, and let me know if you guys are hyped for your Eterna City Audino. Oh, I forgot to even say that. I forgot to mention that. Okay, so I probably put that in the beginning if I remembered. If not, I just look like a complete idiot. But we are the Eterna City Audino this season. Did not mention that one time. But if you guys are hyped for your Eterna City Audino this season, breaking out that new logo in their first Wi-Fi season, hopefully pulling out a championship here. I think we can do it. I really think we can do it. Let me know down below, guys. But with all that being said, for now, guys. Oh, also, I'm so cluttered today. Don't forget to join the Discord server. There's a Discord server where you can talk to me and all of the other coaches down below, and make sure to check out all of the other coaches down below. But with all of that being said, guys, I think that's it for me here. And for now, guys, this has been John Jr. signing off.